All right, guys, I'm having to re-record this again because it's being the worst right now. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so defense in Grand Arena. The biggest thing about defense in Grand Arena is to know your placement in the divisions. Divisions broken up down here. Knowing what division you're in will help because most of the people only have like one or two great teams and the rest are kind of garbage. Unless, they started fresh. With setting a defense, sometimes it's not about holding them on defense, but taking as many banners away as possible. With this particular opponent that I have, he has Darth Revan and Malik, and Jedi Revan, and Grievous, and all the Zetas on those, and his Darth Revan team is relicked out the wazoo. He has Geos, not completely geared up, but his Geo Spy is Relic 4, so that'll be dangerous. He has Padme, low gear. He has, looks like a mild bounty hunter team. I didn't see Bosk up here. All this to say, he has some pretty good offensive and defensive teams. When I'm looking at my defense, I will be looking at what I have that I can counter some of those teams to get further in the territories if he puts them on defense, or what teams can I put on defense that will give him enough trouble but will spare me having to get stuck in his defense. So right now I have about probably one counter, if that, to his Darth Revan Malik team, and that's going to be my Jedi Revan with Thrawn. Now, I didn't check speeds, but that's important to check. Let me see. So his Darth Revan looks like it's going to be fast, and it's freaking fast, so that counter's not going to work. If he puts that on defense, I'm toast. So really, at this point, my defense game is going to be as high as I can get it, with being confident enough to know if he doesn't put his arena team on defense, I can still full clear him. So I'm still not going to put my Jedi Revan. I probably won't even put my Darth Revan on defense. It'll come down to which teams can I use to counter these teams. So Darth Revan, I don't really have a counter to it at this point. His Jedi Revan, let's see. I could counter that. If he puts that on defense, I got it. I doubt he will, though. His First Order, I can counter that. My Rey's going to be better, faster. His Geos, maybe. I can maybe counter that with my trio. His Amidala, if he puts that on defense and his Jedi Revan, I don't know. Maybe. It doesn't look like he has many others geared up for that particular team. His Separatist, maybe. At this point, I'm probably going to go super light on defense. And when I say super light, oops, I just didn't know I said ally invite. When I mean super light, I'm probably going to do like Ewoks, my gimpy clones. Let me show you. This is usually what I'll use. I'll probably put my Karth team on defense, my Night Sisters, my Rogue One, my bounty hunters. They almost always go on defense. My gimpy clones. This is a droid team I want to end up getting at. My Geos will go on defense. My Ewoks. First Order. I mean, I don't have a strong defense currently. But that's changing. So really, it's going to be a numbers game. I'm not going to beat him in defense. But if I'm lucky, I can beat him in offense. So the biggest thing with defense is just recognizing what can I do to counter some of these teams, and at the same time, what can I do to take away banners from him as much as possible. I can actually probably guarantee you he's putting his Darth Revan on offense because, look, he doesn't have a whole lot of teams beyond that. Not like Zeta and stuff like that. He's probably a new player and whatnot. Oh, well, maybe not new player. He has Lando geared up, so he's probably just as old as I am, but, kind of focused on teams earlier than I did. So I'm not too worried about beating him in defense. Now, the other thing is this is ships as well, so I'm going to take a look at his ships. Oh, wrong button. Here we go. He's got his Geos, which that'll be brutal. He has a boss. It's not that impressive. Let's see. Did I see Chewie? I do not see Chewie. That's a plus. Look, these are the capital ships he has. His ships will probably be easy to get through, which means the wall in front of his ships will be very difficult to get through. But it also means that I can put a stronger ship defense because my ships are a little bit more, how do I say this, refined than his. I spent a little bit more work on them. I can put Geos with Houndstooth. I can put my full Rebel team on there. I could do a Houndstooth, Darth Vader, and this one right here, the TIE Silencer on defense. That's a great defense team. It's also a great offense team. At this point, I have more options in ships than I do in characters. But it's just a matter, really, at this point, if I'm going to get lucky and he doesn't put his strongest team on defense. Now, if he does, I'm just going to, do my best. I can't really plan for everything. The biggest thing, though, is not panicking whenever you see him have a team that you don't have or you don't have a counter to. It's just making sure that you have enough to at least do one battle on every team. And if you need to do cleanup, having like 2 or 3 of those. But also making sure you have enough teams on defense that will take as many banners away from him as possible. Because defense isn't about stopping him. It's about taking banners away. Because you don't want him getting further in banners. So that's the biggest thing with defense. It's sometimes you can win defensively, sometimes you can't. I've won several times defensively, and that's just because I played a bit strange and went really good on defense or really good on offense. Like with this, this guy's probably gonna win this series just with his lineup. I haven't even looked at everyone else. Rotsta. Yeah, he's got a Night Sister team. He's got more Zetas. His galactic power is higher. His ships are going to be better and tougher to go against. He doesn't have Chewbacca, though, so not concerned about that. Okay, this guy, he has some interesting teams, but nothing I can't counter. Night Sisters, it's such a tough team to counter, especially when you have a roster like mine. I'm so spread out, and so I'm kind of in a tough spot. I've only recently really started to hunker down and focus on characters and teams rather than characters, excuse me. So it's just a matter of what can I do to take away his banners, but what can I also do to gain banners? But he's going to be thinking the same thing. What can he do to take banners away from me? Or he's going to think the extreme and be like, how can I stop this fool right in his tracks? So my biggest piece of advice is look at teams that are strong, but aren't going to be the easiest thing to counter. And at the same time, what are some teams that are, not so good on offense? Like, you can't, if he puts, let's say if he puts Jedi Revan on offense, I'm not going to bring my Rogue One against them or my Jedi Training Rey because they're going to get wrecked. So I need to make sure I have at least a counter to that. Because if he puts Jedi Knight Revan on defense, which is what I expect him to do, then I'm probably going to go for that rather than Darth Revan. If he puts both on defense, that means I'm going to full bore into both of those offensively and think about that in my defense. But I'm also going to keep in mind, if he does both of those on defense, then that means he's not really saving a whole lot for offense. So I'm going to go a little bit stronger on defense. But again, it's a gamble. whatever you want to try and do with your defense. What I'm probably going to do is go a little bit on the weaker side of defense, have like 2 or 3 good teams. I'll put my bounty hunter team on defense. I always do. Put it right here in front. So he knows I ain't scared. Ain't scared. I'm going to do boss lead though. I feel like I've been having better success with boss lead. Boss lead. And no joke, my Rogue One team, because for some reason people just trip up on my Rogue One team. And here, I'm going to do my crappy Night Sisters with my Ewoks. I don't want to put Geos up front because he'll counter that first thing. And then I'll put